Hey there. So, if you've ever looked at a sad wilting plant and just felt completely frustrated, wondering what you did wrong, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to ditch the confusion and turn plant care into a super simple, successful process. We're going to give you the blueprint. It's the big question, isn't it? The one every single plant owner has asked themselves. You feel like you're doing everything right, you're giving it all the love, and it still just gives up. It's a really common feeling, but I promise you, the answer is usually way simpler than you think. Okay, let's tackle this head on, because it's a big one. We've all heard about the mythical green thumb, right? This idea that some people are just born with this magical gift for growing things. Well, I'm here to tell you that's just not true. The fact is, success in the garden isn't magic. It's about having a plan. It's not about some special talent. It's about having the right blueprint. And this really gets to the heart of the problem we're solving today, what I call the frustrated gardener's dilemma. It doesn't matter if you have 2 houseplants or a huge backyard garden. The goal is always the same, to move from that feeling of, oh, why isn't this working, to a real sense of confidence. And this is our promise to you. The entire point of having a good blueprint is to get this result. You end up saving your plants, you save the money you spent on them, and, maybe most importantly, you save yourself all that frustration. And what do you get in return? A garden that's vibrant, healthy, and can fight off disease. So, what is this magic blueprint? It's really simple. It's built on just 4 pillars. First up is the foundation. Then, the fuel. After that, the environment. And finally, the defense. We're going to go through each one step by step. All right, let's start at the beginning. Pillar number 1, the foundation. It's just like building a house. A plant is only as strong as what's holding it up. And for a plant, that foundation is its soil and its root system. Literally, everything starts right here, underground. Okay, now check this out, because this is where most people get it wrong. Soil is so much more than just dirt. Look at this ideal mix. Almost half of it is just minerals, but the other half, it's water and air. That's huge. Those little air pockets are absolutely crucial for roots to breathe and soak up nutrients. And that tiny little 5% of organic matter, that's the powerhouse. That's the food. So how do we build this perfect foundation? It's all about putting that knowledge into practice. First, do choose the right soil. A cactus needs something sandy that drains fast, but a fern wants something totally different, something rich that holds on to moisture. Next, if your soil is hard as a rock, you've got to aerate it. That just means poking some holes to loosen it up. This brings back those vital air pockets we just talked about so the roots can breathe. And finally, and this one is a deal breaker, don't neglect drainage. If water can't escape, the roots will just sit in a puddle and literally drown. Okay, on to our second pillar, the fuel. Once you've got that solid foundation, you need to give your plant the right energy to actually grow. And that all comes down to water and nutrients. This chart just perfectly shows the classic mistake we all make. You can see that both underwatering and overwatering lead to a really unhappy plant. But here's the thing. Overwatering is probably the #1 killer of houseplants. For real. We think we're helping, but we're actually suffocating the roots. The goal is that beautiful, just right, sweet spot in the middle, where the soil stays moist but never ever soggy. So how do you find that sweet spot? It's easy. First, always water the soil, not the leaves. You want the water going straight to the roots. And here's the best trick. Before you water, just stick your finger about 1 inch into the soil. If it feels dry, go ahead and water. If it's damp, wait another day. And please, don't assume every plant is the same. A thirsty fern and a desert succulent live in totally different worlds. Next up, pillar 3, the environment. This is all about the world around your plant, and we're talking specifically about light and air. You could have the best soil and the perfect watering schedule, but if the environment's wrong, that plant is going to struggle. This right here, this is one of the most powerful rules in all of gardening. Read that again. Match the plant to the place. Don't try to force it. Don't buy a plant that needs tons of sun and stick it in a dark corner, hoping it'll be okay. It won't. Figure out what kind of light your space has first, and then pick a plant that will love it there. It saves so much heartache. So what does that look like day to day? Well, before you even buy a plant, do a quick Google search for its light needs. Does it want bright, indirect light? Full sun? It matters. Also, make sure there's good airflow. Stale, stagnant air is a breeding ground for pests and disease. An easy way to do that?
Just don't crowd your plants. Give them a little elbow room to breathe.
And that brings us to our last pillar, number 4, the defense. This is where we get ahead of the game. We shift from just caring for the plant to actively protecting it, making it so healthy that problems don't even get a chance to start. A great defense isn't a one-time thing, it's a rhythm you get into all year long. In the spring, when everything's waking up, that's when you inspect for pests. In the summer, add a layer of mulch, like wood chips. Think of it like a blanket for your soil. It keeps it cool, holds in water so you don't have to water as much, and stops weeds. In the fall, cleaning up dead leaves is so important. Pests and diseases love to hide out in that debris over winter. Then, in the winter, you just protect your delicate plants from the cold, kind of like you put on a coat.
So there you have it. We've walked through all 4 pillars of our healthy plant blueprint. Now, let's just pull it all together so you can see how simple and powerful this really is.
If you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this number, 4. That's it. It's not some crazy, long list of 100 different rules you have to memorize. It's just 4 key areas to focus on: foundation, fuel, environment, and defense. So let's quickly recap the big ideas. For your foundation, just remember that healthy soil with all those air and water pockets is where everything begins. For fuel, it's all about finding that watering sweet spot and remembering that more is not better. For the environment, it's that golden rule: right plant, right place. And for defense, just remember that a little bit of prevention is worth a pound of cure. See? You don't need a green thumb. You never did. You just needed a blueprint. And now you've got one. So the only real question left is, with all this new confidence, what are you going to grow next?